Hello and welcome to the fourth tutorial in this series. In this tutorial we are going to create our first actual ROS node, so we will head into it direct. So what you need to do is that you need to head into your favorite code editor. Mine is Visual Studio Code, so I will use it. And what you need to do is that you need to open up your workspace folder, which we created in tutorial 2. If you're on Windows, as I am, what you need to do is that you need to locate your Linux file system. If you don't know where it is, I have created another video for that. So I will put a link in the description and put a link somewhere here in the video. So what I want to do here is that I want to go to File, Open Folder, and I want to go to my workspace, which I call Tutorials. So it's called Tutorials, and I go in here and open it up. And the next thing that I want to do is that I want to go down to source folder where I can find my package called tutorial 2, which we created in tutorial 2. So I open it up, and in the tutorial 2, what I want to do is that I want to create a new folder called source. And in that source folder, what I want to add is the ROS node file, where we are going to code. So I will create a new file. And I will call this publisher_node.cpp. And CPP is for C++, so then Visual Code knows that it should be the syntax for C++, and it will also be a valid C++ file. So the first thing that we want to do is that we want to include a file called ros.h. So we do that. So we type include ros/ros.h like this. And what this file contains is the basic functions of ROS, so we really want that. The next thing that we are going to include is a file called standard_messages/string.h. And this is a standard message in ROS, and as you can guess, it contains a string. And the next thing that we want to do is that we want to declare our main function, so I'm just going to do that. Like that. So the first thing that we want to do in our main function is that we want to run a command called init. So it looks like this. And the arguments that we want to send in is our argc, argv, and also the name of our node. So we can call our node publisher, like this. The next function that we want to call is, or not a function, the next thing that we want to create is a ROS node handle. So we do that by typing like this. And what this does is that now when we create this object, we start the node. So now we have initialized our node, and we have started the node by calling the node, creating a node handle. So the first thing that we want to do after that is to create a publisher object. So to do that, what we do is that we create a ROS publisher, and I will just call this topic_publisher, pub, like this. And it equals our node handle. So we'll call a function in the node handle called advertise. And then you want to put these arrows, and inside that you want to put the type of the message that we are going to use. And as I told you before, we are going to use a standard message called string.h. So we'll type that like this. And after that, then it wants 2 arguments. And the first argument is the name of the topic. So I'm going to call this tutorial, like that. And the other argument is our queue size. And the queue size is how many messages we can have in our queue before we throw some away. So I will just put 1000 here or something. So the next thing that we want to do is that we want to create another object called ROS rate. So this will this is how often we are going to loop our, or how often we are going to publish our message. So I will call it loop rate, and in parentheses I will just set a frequency on how often we are going to update. So I put 1 here, so we publish a message each second. So I will do it like that. And then I want to create a while loop which we are going to loop and publish our messages. And I want to publish messages as long as a statement is true, and this statement is ROS OK, like this. And what this actually does is that this while loop will run as long as we don't press Ctrl+C or our node crashes or something else happens with our node. But as long as everything is working fine, it will continue to loop. So what I want to do in the while loop is that first I want to create our message, and it's of the type standard message, so like this, and it's a string, so, and I can call it just message. So we just create a message object. Then I want to put some data inside the message object, so I will say message.data equals hello world, like this. And then what I want to do is that I want to take our publisher, which we call topic_pub. So I will type it like this. And then I will type .publish and send our message in here like this. And what I want to do next is that I want to call a function called ROS spin once. And what this function does is that it checks for any callbacks or if anything new has happened that we need to react to. And the last thing that we want to do is call our loop rate and .sleep, like this. And in here, so we have promised to return something, so we'll just return a value of 0, like this. So as I mentioned, this topic_pub publish here, what it does is that it publishes the message to the topic tutorial. So we are going to actually show that soon. But what we want to do next, before we can build and try this out, we need to edit our Cmakelists Txt. And as you can see, there are 2 of them here in my list to the left. But the one I want to use is the one in my package, which is called tutorial 2. So I want to edit this one. So the first thing that we want to do in this file is that we want to go to line 10, where it says find the package, catkin required. And what we want to do here is that we want to add components, and we want to add ROS CPP, ROS Pi, std_messages, and yen message, like this. And after that, what we want to do is that we want to add a new line. So it says include _directories, and then we want to have a parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis, what we want to add is something called a $, and then we want to add brackets, and inside the brackets, we want to say catkin _include dirs, like this. So that's the first line that we want to add. So next up, what we want to do is we want to go down in this file, and we want to go down to here where it says generate messages, standard messages, and we want to uncomment this one like this. Hit save. Then we want to keep going on later down. So we continue to go down until we see a line called add executable here. So what we want to do here is we want to uncomment this one. And as you can see here, it is called $project name node, and that's not the name of our node. So we want to call it publisher _node. And you also see here that it is called source/tutorial2_node.cpp, which is the location of our file. But our is not called tutorial2_node, it's called publisher_node. So we want to call it publisher, like this, to point to our file. Then the next thing that we want to go to is to this line here called add dependencies. And as you can see here, it also says $project name, and we want to add that to our publisher node. So we just copy our publisher node here and paste it in like this. And the last one here, which says $catkin underscore exported targets, you can keep. Then I can go down here where it says target underscore link underscore libraries. So I will just remove these ones here. And you see also here that it is called project name underscore node. So we will change that to publisher underscore node like this. Oh, I see that I have underscore node here. So I want to remove, it should say publisher underscore node like this. Let's see if I have this. Yeah, no, nowhere else. Yeah. So I continue to go down a bit. And I should just see if there is anything more here. I don't think there is. No, I think we're done. So we hit save. And what you want to do now is that you want to open up a terminal. And you want to go to your workspace. So I will head into it here. So mine is called tutorials. Like this. And as you can see, I stand here where I have my build, devel, and source folders. So now I want to build it, and what I do to build this is that I call catkin underscore make and hit enter. And as you can see, the package is building, and we can see that we successfully built our package. So what we do now, the first thing that we want to do is that we actually want to source a file in our devel folder called setup.bash, like this. And then we want, the first thing that we want to do, if you were watching tutorial 3, so the thing that we want to do is that we want to open up a new terminal and start our ROS core. So we just type ROS core like this to start it. And when it looks like this, it's started. So now we are going to run our ROS node. And to run our ROS node, we call a command called ROS run. And then the name of our package. So mine is called tutorial2. And after that, I type the name of our node, which is publisher underscore node. And then I hit enter. And as you can see, it's not so exciting. It didn't print anything, but it's not supposed to do that. So what this node is supposed to do is that it's supposed to publish messages to a topic. So we are going to look into the topic. And to look into the topic, we open up a new terminal. And in here, what we do is that we run a command called Ros Topic and list. And what this does is that it lists all of the running topics right now. So we type Ros Topic List. And as we can see, we have 3 topics, which is Ros Out Ag, and one called tutorial. And if you remember, we created this tutorial in our code. So we called it here. We call our node handle and we set it to advertise to tutorial. So what we do now can do is that we again call ROS topic, and we want to echo, and then we type the name of the topic that we want to echo. So /tutorial. Like this, and then we hit enter. And here we can see that we publish data to this topic. So there is coming new messages all the time, each second, updating this topic. And that's all for this tutorial. So in the next tutorial, we are going to create a subscriber which will subscribe to this topic and print it out. So see you in the next one. If you like this video, and please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I would be really pleased if you do so. Otherwise, have a nice day and see you soon.